NBC27 Digital Now Center. This is Beyond the Forecast with your most accurate local meteorologists.
Well, we say good morning, everybody, and what a day after dealing with flooding issues the last 2 days and high humidity and awful dew points. It is nice to finally be able to kind of enjoy some time outside without worried about getting wet or getting flooded out as we have the last couple of days. I know many sports have been rained out the last 2 evenings. I also know trying to get in your golf match or even just working outside in the yard has been a challenge here this week. Even driving has been a challenge because of so many flooded roads in places like Mannheim and other spots across the region. But we do have better weather ahead, and we're going to talk about it now. So let's get started here today with some headlines for you. And it's a nice morning. Speaking of Lancaster County, let's start in Elizabethtown. Much nicer today. We do anticipate it to be very sunny by this afternoon. Some clouds overhead now should clear out by later this morning. Now, there's still the chance for a passing shower tomorrow. We'll break down those chances for you coming up. But it is looking great for July 4th. I think it's going to be an amazing Friday. Really, it's nice when we get nice weather to line up with the holidays, and that's what we're going to have here heading into the big weekend. So clouds overhead of in Harrisburg here, the Capitol Dome, you can see in the distance. It is overcast, but the sun has been trying to break through, and it will. Let's take a look at the satellite radar picture. You can see how close we are to just breaking through here. We've had so much rain, and we talked about that rain axis here along the front. Well, Philly's getting wet this morning. York and Lancaster still had some showers overnight, but for all intents and purposes, this is the last gasp, and you can see that drier air really pushing in now from the north and west. We love to see it, and it's going to make for a nice afternoon here. But clouds across the Susquehanna Valley are going to be a bit stubborn over the next couple of hours. Notice the cooler air. There it is. Temperatures in the 60s west of here. Most of us are still sitting in the upper 60s, very close to 70 degrees this morning, and the dew points have not cleared yet as well. But they're close. Look at that dry air. It's trying to get in here. But I think it's going to be just a little bit yet before we can officially declare today nice. This afternoon should be, though. Good day for boating, good day to be outside. It will turn less humid. Temperatures right where they should be in the mid-80s today. So it's still going to be warm. I don't want to give the assumption that there's going to be a chill in the air like we've seen. No, it's going to be a warm afternoon. It'll feel hot in the sun, but without the humidity, it's just going to feel so nice. Check out the water vapor loop. Again, look at all that moisture that was over top of us yesterday with those blue colors, just a big blob that the atmosphere needed to squeegee out over top of us, and it sure did. And now the humid and stormy weather pushing to the east. We've got drier weather filtering in from the north, and man, that's going to make a difference here to our forecast. We can see the sunglasses here. That emoji really tells the story of what I think the weather's going to be like through July 4th and even into the weekend. We just have to kick out that front this morning, and we will do so, and we will be feeling pretty nice. By the way, the Phillies have a doubleheader today. Their dugout got flooded yesterday with the rains, and so it is likely to be much nicer today with dropping humidity during the first game, which is at 105, and then tonight's game 6:15. So the Padres are in town. We took the first one. The Phillies hoping to take the next two through this evening. A good day for baseball in Philly. Now, here's Precision Cast. And again, I expect it to be a very nice afternoon, really for the next 3 days. I will say that tomorrow we do anticipate a pop-up shower. Nothing more than a 20-minute shower here and there, but you'll notice it does continue into this evening. This is all from a boundary here that is dropping south across the region. Right here, you can kind of see that front dropping in and pushing more drier air, more of a drop in the humidity as we move into the 4th of July. That's why I think Friday is going to be so nice. So good news there as we move into the end of the week because Friday does look really awesome. Before we get into Friday, though, I do want to pull up our models and take a look here at what we expect for tomorrow because Precision Cast is not the only model that says we will get a stray shower. So there goes the front today. This is the high-res NAM 3K model. And look at that little boundary dropping in here tomorrow. It does indicate certainly that there could be a shower right here across portions of maybe eastern PA. There's a little blob over parts of Perry County tomorrow. So we just have to mention the chance for a shower. It does exist, and unfortunately, like it or not, it is going to maybe come by your house tomorrow afternoon when you're trying to go swimming or trying to mow the grass. That's why I want to mention it. It's a very small chance, and it's a very quick shower, but it is going to be around. So just keep that in mind if you do have plans for tomorrow. Now, let's get back to Friday because that's obviously the big day and the holiday. So we'll pull up Friday's view here on Precision Cast, and it looks nice. I mean, I think it's really going to be nice. Now, the rain tomorrow, less than 1/10 of an inch in most spots. You can see it does cluster over our eastern counties, so maybe a little more in Lancaster County, Berks County, maybe up to 1/4 inch. I have a hard time believing this thing can put down 1/2 inch, but it's possible. Dew points are another thing to watch. They're going to drop throughout the day today. They're going to stay very low here as we move into the day tomorrow. That's why I don't expect a lot of rain. They may increase slightly during the day ahead of this next front, and then they're going to drop again significantly going into Friday. And we're going to talk more about dew points in the extended forecast here because obviously that's critical this time of year as we try to determine the humidity and the extent of the rain. But let's go to the extended forecast because, again, this trough is going to set up here on Friday. So we get all of this cool air to filter down here across Pennsylvania. Look at that trough. It's a beautiful thing to see on the upper levels because that means we get a break from the heat. Now, more heat and humidity really start to build from a ridge. So we talk about cooler air with troughs. Here's this ridge coming in here with nice warm air. So we're going to have another heat wave Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But the good news is it does not look prolonged. Here comes another trough by the end of next week. So temperatures take a bit of a dip. Here's your Independence Day planner. Absolutely gorgeous here for Friday. Just stellar. Mostly sunny Saturday. I really don't think it's going to be that humid over the weekend. I think dew points stay low, pretty low into Sunday. I think we'll start to get a taste of the humidity again by next week. But if you're going to be going to any fireworks displays, it looks nice moving into Friday evening. Perfectly pleasant, 80 degrees. Can't beat that. Dry and comfy at Hershey Park. Their fireworks go off at 10:15 Friday, and it should be nice. Here's the temperature trend. So again, heat wave peaking Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Temperatures decrease again later next week. We get more seasonable and even a little bit below average by the end of next week as that next trough sets up. So less humid today, later on, maybe a pop-up shower tomorrow afternoon. Keep that in mind. July 4th looks sunny and pleasant, and then our heat wave begins on Sunday. But we're going to wrap this up. I do want to just take a moment to talk about dew points because they are critical this time of year when we go to measure the humidity. So we're going to pull up the European model here and just take a look at dew points over the next week or so because today, listen, we get some drier air in here. Dew points in the 60s. Now tomorrow, this shows actually a little pop of humidity. Dew points still near 70 right here. Do you see that for tomorrow afternoon? That's when that trough swings through. Now watch what happens here on Friday. This is July 4th. Look at the blue colors indicating drier air. Look at dew points dropping into the 50s. It's going to be very comfortable here for the 4th of July. Even this weekend, do you see how the dew points stay low? By Sunday, maybe we start to see a little bit of humidity, but I'm still not seeing dew points in the 70s. So I don't think with temperatures near 90 and a dew point of 67, that's all that humid. My Monday and Tuesday of next week, though, look at that. Dew points back up into the 70s. So Monday and Tuesday, we could get some storms. We start to dry out again by the middle of next week. And then things turn a little bit humid again heading into Friday with drier conditions by the following weekend as we move into the middle part of July. So the good news here about dew points is that we're not going to see any prolonged humid air in place. I think the rest of this week looks good. I think most of the weekend looks okay. Next Monday and Tuesday, it looks humid, and then a bit of a drop, and then the humidity goes up by the end of next week, and then we drop it again by the weekend. So fear not, if you don't like the real humid weather, I think any prolonged humidity is not in the cards, which is good news for us. So that's a look at the 4th of July forecast, a little preview of the upcoming heat wave, and enjoy today because you're going to notice the humidity drop as we move into this afternoon. For Beyond the Forecast, I'm meteorologist Brett Thakara.